What's up, everybody? Let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons starting running back since Arthur Smith has taken over for the Atlanta Falcons back in 2021. We have Mike Davis at the helm, who played all in 17 games, but started in 8 of them. Then you have Cordarrelle Patterson, who played in 13 games due to injuries with his knees, where he was placed on injury reserve, and that made him miss 4 games. So now we have Bijan Robertson, who we drafted this season with the 8th overall pick, and he will probably be our starting running back for this season. So the main question is, what will Cordarrelle Patterson role be in 2023? We'll just look back in the past, and that will help us to determine his future for this upcoming season. So let's just dive into the video. If you guys like this type of content, hit that like button. If you don't, hit that dislike button. If you want to help your boy out, hit that subscribe button and help out the empire grow tremendously. Let's just get started. So let's just do a quick recap with the situation. So when Mike Davis was drafted by the 49ers back in 2015 in the 4th round, he was never going to be the starter because they had Carlos Hyde as their starting running back number 1. So when he was let go by the 49ers, he went with Seattle Seahawks. Now he got a chance of glimmer of showing potential, but then, he got cut, and then he went with the Chicago Bears, and then he never got a fighting chance, and he got cut, and then with the Carolina Panthers, etc., until 2020, when he finally got, his golden opportunities with the Carolina Panthers, where he played in 15 games, and he carried the ball 165 times, and rushed for 642 rushing yards, and then 6 rushing touchdowns. And I think the reason why the Atlanta Falcons kind of fell in love with him, first of all, he was going to be very cheap to get. Number 2, he was fresh off the boat, where he didn't get damaged a lot since he's been in the league, so that means he had fresh legs. And number 3, you can always take one of your division rival players and make them your own, so that's always a bonus in any situations. But what really gave Mike Davis all the hype when he went into training camp that season, and then the photo came out where everybody saw his thighs and legs, and it blew up the internet, and it gave a lot of the Atlanta Falcon fans who were skeptical, making them believe that he can be the bell cow for the Atlanta Falcons. And yeah, I was drawn with that too. I said, wow, he can put some serious damage because of what he did last season with the Carolina Panthers. Now he's coming to the Atlanta Falcons. We could definitely use him, and he would definitely exploit every defender that's out there. But sadly, that was not the case. So when it came time for the 2021 season to begin, the Atlanta Falcons running back committee was Mike Davis at number 1, then you had CP at number 2, then you had Cordarrelle Patterson at number 3, and then Keith Smith with the fullback. So those were your opportunities in the backfield. So how did everybody falter? CP definitely did a great job in his first year with the Atlanta Falcons, but unfortunately, it's a little bit more complicated when we talk about Mike Davis' situation, because we brought him in to be that number 1 running back. We brought him in to be that bell cow. We brought him in so he can move the chain and help Matt Ryan transition into the Arthur Smith style of offensive play and to break 1,000 rushing yards. But unfortunately, that was not the case, because when you almost have the same stat-wise when it comes to your second string running back and you're supposed to start all 17 games, it doesn't look pretty. Now, even though they have almost identical numbers, that does not look good for your starting running back at all, and we can clearly see that. So when the Atlanta Falcons decide to bench Mike Davis for CP in week 10 against the Dallas Cowboys, we can clearly see that benefits CP dramatically, where he got more touches, he got more opportunities to running the ball. We got him to see, scoring more touchdowns. And unfortunately for Mike Davis, that didn't give him that time to, concentrate, develop on his run game. It just was kind of the same, and that's when you kind of knew it was kind of over for him. And I want to reiterate something what I said about him being benched. I didn't meant to say he'd been benched. I meant to say he'd been pushed back to second string running back duties. And the reason why is pretty simple, because CP was just finding the holes more often than not. Unlike Mike Davis, when he tried to find the holes, he was just getting, swallowed up way too easily. And CP was just a bigger body frame when it came to the running back position, where, Arthur Smith had, Derrick Henry at the time, who was also 6'3" and was just a juggernaut who just ran through and plowed everybody. And Mike Davis just wasn't that type of running back that Arthur Smith was hoping to get. Even though Mike Davis had that ability to juke and, maneuver easily, it just wasn't working for us, unfortunately. So that's the reason why that Mike Davis just wasn't a no-go. So let's talk about 2022. Where CP got his first starting job as a running back full-time. And then we can clearly see here, we have Tyler Algier, Cordarrelle Patterson, we have Keith Smith at fullback again. Then we got Avery Williams, who transitioned into a running back this season because last year he was a corner that was a rookie last year. So obviously, CP was going to get the starting job over the rookie and then, the transition guy. So obviously, but you know what? He did a fantastic job when he got the opportunities that was presented to him, especially in week 1 and week 3 as well, where he ran for over 100 rushing yards. And then tragedy has struck down our CP because he got injured and missed 4 games and came back against the Los Angeles Chargers. And then he kind of picked up but slowly was doing his thing. So really injuries derailed him because he had a chance to eclipse over 1,000 rushing yards. But then when that was happening, Tyler Algier, the rookie, just stepped up his game and kind of balled out. And then that was kind of the writing of the wall at that moment, where Tyler Algier was just making headways. He was young, he was fresh, he was eager to learn. And that's what happens when you get injured when you become old, unfortunately. When you get injured, it usually means it's going to be harder for you to get back in the game as a true starter. And that's kind of what happened to the very end of the season. In 2023, it was very clear from the beginning that the Atlanta Falcons wanted a fresh new pair of legs in Bijan Robinson. That's why they got him in the first round with the 8th overall pick. So it was clearly sending a message that CP's time in Atlanta was probably going to be done either this season or next season. It really just depends on how Arthur Smith is going to use CP, more of a traditional down the hill type of running back or more of a slight wide receiver aspect of the running back play. It's very interesting to notice that, and also making sure that this might be a good thing for CP because of his injury history for the past couple of seasons. This might be actually a better benefit for him, so he could be staying more healthy on the field. Who knows? If he does a really good job this season, he might get an extension to come back maybe 1 or 2 more years. Now, CP has stated that he has a full tank of gas left, probably 5 more in his mindset that he can really play ball, but we just don't know until the first snap is play in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium when we face the Carolina Panthers this season. I'm excited. I think CP will be the 3rd string running back at this time period. Anything can definitely change after training camp and then the preseason. Hopefully injuries are not a factor at all in any of this decision making, but I think he still has a good fighting chance to really do some damage on the field. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree, disagree with this? I'm very curious to know what you guys or your mindset is with all the CP stuff going around. So on that note, if you guys made it to the very end of the video, I really appreciate it a lot. Thank you guys for taking your own personal time and day to watch this content. I like making Falcon videos for you guys. So on that note, what do Falcons do? Rise up. Until the next episode, show love and peace to the world, and peace.